Couple things we're going to go over here today. What I'm going to share with you was off of the footage that I took at Meekwow's Gifting Bowl, episode 3 at the White Birch location. And there was a lot going on there. Foot stomps, wood knocks. I heard the vocal. I'm not sure. Nobody commented on the whoop. I want to share this stuff with you guys because it's some of that. Some of the things that I capture are so out to lunch. High strangeness. A lot of it I can't explain, but it's there, right? It's there. And once you see it, you can't not see it. I hear. I don't know if you guys, nobody commented on the hyena laughter that I picked up. See, I've heard that 3, maybe 4, 3 for sure, and at one visit 2-3 years back, I heard it while I was walking actually across the road from where I had that new gifting bowl. That's where I first reached out. That's where I first touched with him. It's where we first connected. The hyena laughter, right? It sounds very much like hyena laughter. I've heard it, like I say, I've heard it quite a few times up in there. I haven't heard it at any of the other locations here on the farm, the clan that's here next to my property, nor the river or Seven Creeks. I've not heard that hyena laughter. The only place I'm hearing it is up in the White Birch location, so that was interesting. Another thing I want to talk about is those new sunglasses. These ones here. They have a very good reflection, but even now as I sit here and I stare into them, I can see everything around me fairly good, but what it is doing, I don't know if you can see that. Everything has a yellow hue to it. When I've been going over my footage, which I have found a few things on that last visit to the White Birch Clan, I will share them with you at some point. It's taken away the natural color of stuff, like, unless it's very, very close, am I seeing, like in one, I think it was on into 2 minutes at the very beginning of episode 3, somebody was pointing out that they thought they'd seen a Bigfoot there with legs and stuff. I didn't see that, but where they pointed me, the timestamp that they gave me when I went back there was something forming a reddish brown color at the back end of my truck, and then it seems to take over underneath my pickup truck. I don't know if any of you caught that, but that was interesting. I see it better in my original footage. That's just how this works, right? I wish through all of the editing and all of the converting your files and uploading it onto YouTube, and then they convert it to HD, high definition. We lose a lot of the audio and video. To my original footage, and then I go on to my video that I just posted up, that I put all together. It's not as clear, right? It's kind of upsetting, but unless I went right from just raw footage, no editing, and no adding intros, outros, my music, all the breaks in between, and I just throw the raw footage up straight from my camera onto YouTube, it may be different, right? It may be different. And there is that option. I might have to try that with a short video here in the yard, or Sammy and I's trip here maybe to the mint patch or the mud patch, Bigfoot mud patch. We're planning on a hike. He's getting excited to go on another hike here, so we will be doing that. But my plan either is go to the second location this location here at the river, or Seven Creeks. Either one of those two. I'm feeling the pull to go back to the river, partly to check on the gate situation there, seeing if they're actually putting that up, blocking people out. And I want to go to the gifting site number 2, just to go and touch bases with that group over there. I believe it's an extended group from the River Clan that I have, where I have the gifting bowl set up. I believe gifting site 2 is just an extended family. It's the river, right? And I think there's 6-7 miles in between each one, and I think they're all part of the same family there, extended family down river, right? Downriver. Yeah. So I don't know. I may wear these off and on, but I think I may stick to the good oldies here, the ones that I originally used and had when I first realized that I was capturing something in my glasses, right? These ones and the other ones have a fluorescent green arms on them. These 2 sets of glasses, and they're more comfortable. I had somebody, I didn't even respond to it. Another person come in and saying, "Oh, I need to wear something great big reflective on my chest," right? Sorry, I'm not going to go walking in with a bunch of mirrors hanging off of me. And if you knew anything about bushwhacking and walking through the trees, you don't want to be carrying mirrors and things hanging off of you. And my first and foremost concern would be upsetting them, right? I would be lit up. Even if I turned into the sun and the sun is reflecting off of all these things on me, I don't think that would bode well, right? This is more. There's a larger picture here. It's forming trust and a connection and a relationship with these clans, and I'm filming this as we go, as I do that. Like I said a couple of videos back, we're just gonna stick with the glasses. If they choose to come forward and show us something in those glasses, and I happen to stumble onto it or find it through the review process, I will share it. That in itself is enough. I believe that's enough, right? I mean, if you want to go out there and hang mirrors off you and go hang mirrors in the trees, and I don't think it has to do with a flat surface mirror, because I've filmed that, experimenting here on the property with mirrors, and I couldn't tell the difference between what was a mirror and what was the actual video footage. Like, it was the same. I could have put a line in the middle of the screen and put both videos up, and you would never have guessed which was the mirror reflection. And I don't think that's what it is. It has something to do with possibly the shape of the mirror and the camera lens, and maybe it's just maybe it's the relationship I have with them, right? I don't know if this is going to happen for everybody, or if anybody else is having the same experience, and I don't know, right? I don't know if I don't quite understand all what is taking place here. I think there's quite a few things we have to consider that are taking place for this to happen. Lonely if it's just me. If more people are experiencing that and having it happen, that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. And that also speaks volumes about that individual, because obviously, to me, what I see is they are trusting me. They are coming forward. They're coming close enough to me that we are able to see this. And that again speaks volumes. Okay, but we're going to get into this little video here. I'm going to bring up some pictures. We're going to go to the computer screen, the desktop. I'm going to bring up, I've got I believe I've got 5 images that I want to share. I need to do a little bit of backstory, a little follow-up, lead up to these pictures. Okay, I left the bowl, my last episode, episode 3, I had just left the gifting site, the bowl, and I was headed in the direction, that great big wood knock that came through right when they show up. So you only hear a portion of what I'm hearing and what I'm experiencing back there in the trees, and it's so loud. It's so loud, you feel it, and you feel the energy. As soon as they show up, the whole environment, the whole area that I'm in, the trees, even the air, it just shifts. It's different. And it may be because my senses are all heightened. That might be a part of it. But I believe it is, you just know it. Anybody that's had some type of Bigfoot experience, they can tell you this, right? You feel it first before you realize there's something different. And then all of a sudden, you'll either see them, or you'll get the smell of them, or you'll hear something, right? There's a change in the air, in the whole, in the vibration, in the energy in that area of the trees or wherever it is you might be. And there's a shift, there's a change. And I think that's what people experience when they talk about everything going quiet. The birds go quiet, the insects go quiet, all the animals go quiet. It's because they've showed up, right? There's a shift. And it has to do with the energy that surrounds them, that they bring with them, that they have near them and around them, which I believe allows them to do the things like some of the stuff I'm going to show you here, which allows them to do these things, disappear, reappear, interdimensional. A lot of people still are having issues with that. They can't wrap their minds around it. These have to be physical beings, right? And then there are the majority out there are pushing that narrative. And we're dealing with something much greater, much larger. There's a greater picture here, and they are interdimensional. Why else would we only get 1 or 2 tracks in the mud, and they end, and they start out of nowhere and end into nothing? In the snow, we've seen them here on the property, just making 3 or 4 tracks, nothing. They disappear. Seeing them physically, yet they're not leaving any physical evidence that they've even walked there. We've seen them walk through trees. I've been capturing them cloaked, half here, half out, right? And then I believe they can be here. They obviously can be here 100% physically, in physical form, to make the tracks, to build the structures, to make the arches, to do all of these things in this three-dimensional physical realm, right? But I think it takes a lot of energy. I do believe that it does take a lot of energy from them, and they need to use the energy around them. It's much larger and much greater than people, I think, can even imagine, because they're so conditioned to see these beings in certain ways, right? I'm still getting those, oh, these are monsters, they're bad, they're evil, be careful, watch out. I don't get that, right? And again, for those that are coming on board, we've been having experiences with them off and on for over 50 years, right? Over 50 years. And in those 50 years, I mean, we've spoken to a lot of people. We've had a lot of experiences, encounters, seen a lot, heard a lot. The stories that I heard from my elders, it's not the same. It's not the same, but it is what it is. I seem to be saying that quite often, but it's true. Why I bring this up about their ability, what I'm going to share here with you, and I believe this is another partially cloaked Sasquatch. I don't know if you can see him yet, back there in the trees. Again, I always go back to where I heard them, where I saw movement, where I know and felt and sensed them. When I'm going through the review process, I go back to those moments because I remember I'm there, right? I remember my trip and I remember my walk, but I do have fun in the review. It's taxing. It's many hours. There are times where a 15-minute video took me, oh my goodness, a whole week, just to try to put it all together to make sense for you. I could just do nothing and just post up, video with nothing, no editing. But to do this, to highlight something, I think a backstory is good, and me talking to and explaining why it drew my attention to it, and what I think of it, right? What I feel is my take on what's happening here. I think that's a good thing to do, and This is how I do stuff, right? This is how I do things. Okay, so here we are, and I'm sure you had a good look at this picture. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Okay, again, I go back to where I heard them, and where I'm feeling they are, where I'm hearing the twig snaps. That's where I start filming, and that's where I go back to in the review process. I'm sure you found him by now. He's here. I'm gonna highlight his shape for you all. And I have, right, because I'm just scanning through the trees there at that moment. This would have been right, if I can remember where that was in the video. I'll give you the timestamp here. There he is, right? He's there. He's looking from back there in the trees at me. I'll zoom in on that a little bit so you can, and then get rid of the blue, just to let you see that a bit better without the highlight. Yes, right? Man, you could see the eyes, right? You can see the eyes. They're there. The shape of his head. We've got an eye here. There. A bit of his nose is showing. And you can see the rest there. This would be his left shoulder, and the nape of his neck, and then a bit of his right shoulder over here. And the top of his head would be right here. Again, it's one of those things, once you see it, you can't not see it, right? He's there. He's there. He's peeking around. He's a peaker. I had a peaker. I think I had quite a few peakers back there, but, and there you go, right? And what I'm seeing, I'll show you the size of it from in my video footage, and that's about how big it was on the whole entire, like, what I took the still from the actual video footage. Bring that to center. And we'll just add a little bit of that diffuse glow filter to that. I'll move this over. So he's right here. And we'll just bring that diffuse glow up a little bit. Yeah, that's just amazing. There, right there, screen center. Kind of amazing. Okay, we're going to go on to image number 2. A little bit of backstory on this one. This was across the road after I come out. Or after I come out from doing my little walkabout and gifting, I come to the road. And this was right after I filmed the deer that was coming to see me. If I would have kept playing my flute, I'm sure I should have just put my tailgate down, grabbed my flute again, and played softly. I could get them to come right to me. I've done it before, right? I've done it with a mama and her baby bear. And I've had elk come right up to me, deer, bear, insects, birds. It's such a natural, soothing, relaxing sound. There are a lot of people that can't deal with the sound. I think it could be their nature. Maybe they're hyperactive. They could be, for whatever reasons, maybe internal struggles within them in their lives, emotions and stuff, and they fight that. They don't want to hear that because it brings them centered and it relaxes you. And a lot of people just don't want to, whatever stage of, it could be mourning or it could be dealing with something in their life, whatever stage they are within that process, they hear the flute music. And I've even had it anger some people, frustrate them, right? Because it's forcing them to center. It's forcing them to consider. And they don't want to go there yet, right? So they get very annoyed with it, and it irritates them. I know this because I played it for many years, and I've seen the effects it's had on different types of people, right? So, but out in nature, all of nature seems to enjoy the sound. It's another one of those amazing things to experience personally. So, okay, I'd imagine you see or you're seeing something there already. So this was when I come out, right after I filmed the deer, I start scanning the trees across the road from me, west of me, and that's where I was capturing a lot of the stuff. That one that I showed you, I have another one of him I want to share. There's something in the still image that I was able to get that it's very interesting, but we'll get to that. I'll find the timestamp, and you can try to find these yourself, right? They're back there. So I'm going to zoom in here a bit more. What do you see? Of course, the one is obvious, and you can't dismiss this one. You can't just dismiss this as a shadow or pareidolia or just a trick of lighting. What I think I'm seeing here is three. One for sure, and I believe there are three. Of course, there's many other things here that look like eyes and could be's. I always call those could be's, right? And most of the time, because I'm not sure, I won't highlight them. But there are other things in there as well. I will share with you what I see. I'm seeing, of course, the major one here. Right here, right? I'll zoom in, and I almost get the feeling this is female, an older elder female. Because of the deep frown lines and the width of the frown lines. Their features and bone structure are a little bit different, a bit more feminine, less prominent. So I'm going to zoom in on her, and this is crazy, right? Because her eyes, I don't know if they're glowing or shining. So yeah, we got an eye, her nose here. I'm going to say her. I'm going to call her female. And this is her brow ridges. And see these frown lines here, right? They're very deep. It's over here. I'm thinking this is either a smaller one with her. Would be a nose here. And top of the head. I'm thinking possibly a third. This may be one up in this area right here. I'm not positive on this one. Let's get rid of the blue. I'm going to use the diffuse glow filter for you and see what happens. I'll highlight the two right here, these two, because I'm just not positive on that one up at the top there. Unless I see the eyes and the nose, and sometimes I'll catch the eye shine. They're right in there, right in the leaves, right in the thick of it. So let's bring this diffuse glow up. And I'll take away a little bit, sharpen it up a little bit, get rid of the blurriness. There we go, right? Very good, very good. Very good. Okay, image number 2. This is amazing because that second one is more pronounced. You could see it much better, the smaller one. And again, I don't know if it's smaller or if it's further back. It could be her little one, or it could be just a smaller female, right? Because if you notice, they have almost the exact same frown lines. Because on all the males, I only see one line separating their brow ridges. I don't see these double frown lines. That's something to consider. That's something to keep in mind. I'll zoom in here a little bit. Again, we've got eye, an eye. We got an eye, part of the nose here, and hers, and this one here, brow ridges, and see, and this is right here, these two, you got double frown lines. And this is about the 4th or 5th time I've captured the females, and I find these, sometimes there's none, it's very smooth, and I'm thinking because they're younger, but I think the older ones, they have that double frown, right? Double frown line. Oh my goodness, okay. I have fun doing this, trust me. I really, really do. Because when I find them, I'm like, oh, what? And then I start zooming in and playing with the filters, right? It's kind of, it's just, it gets exciting. We're going to diffuse glow filter here. We'll use the diffuse glow filter on this one as well. Let's move this over a little bit. Wow, okay. Oh my goodness. And that one up at the top there, I'm not sure, but I am sure of the two screen center. Look at that, right? Folks, these are beautiful beings. They just want peace. They just want harmony. They would love to connect with more of us, I'm sure, but we got to drop these preconditioned, almost brainwashed views. We're hearing so much I call BS. There's so much of it out there, and I know a lot of people don't like me talking about this. They don't want me to talk about it. They want me to step in line. Trust me, I already know this. I've already had the horrible emails and messages and all that stuff. They don't want me they don't want me to talk about the truth, right? They do not want this. But I'm not going to tell you a lie. I'm not going to tell you something that's not true. This is what I know to be true. And they can continue. Nothing's stopping them, right? They can continue pushing the narratives and all that stuff, all the negative stuff. And I'll just keep sharing what I know and what they're showing me and what they're teaching me. And again, it is what it is. We can't do much about it. I can't do much about it other than share with you what they're sharing with me. These forest people, these Bigfoot. And this is beautiful. A lot of people, I had one person, that one of the images I shared in the video saying, oh, well, it looks more like a troll to me than a Bigfoot. And I'm thinking, how would you even know what a troll looks like? And have you seen a troll? And have you seen a Bigfoot? None of it. They've seen none of it, right? They've never experienced any of it, but yet they have this, and it's embedded. It's, the people, people believe, they start to believe the narratives, and because it's constantly being hammered, right? Hammered. And I've never seen a troll, only what Hollywood's put out. But yeah, to me, they're beautiful. They don't look, ugly. I've heard people say, oh, they look kind of ugly. That one looks scary. This one looks mean. I guess beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think they're beautiful. And I think it's because I'm out there with them and I know their nature, right? I'm learning, and I feel, I don't ever feel threatened. I don't ever feel threatened or that I'm in danger, right? I don't get those feelings. So, but again, that's my relationship with them. Okay, let's get on to, okay, this is crazy, right? There's three, I don't know if you can see these yet, back there, screen center, and, whoa, wait a minute, what is up? I just noticed something. Okay, I'm not going to even go there yet because that's freaky. Okay, if you can, I'm not even going to zoom in there yet. Look at the top left corner of this. Still, I did not even notice that. All right, let's go screen center first. Oh my goodness. Okay. Can you see them? And I believe what I'm seeing here, these look canine-ish. I don't want to go down the whole dogman thing. I don't know if that's what these are. I don't even know what this is. But it's obvious. It's another one of those, once you see it, you can't not see it. They are there. I believe there's three, but I don't understand how they're all blended. And it may have been my camera movement, because I didn't see them. I just caught this, right? And as I'm scanning through the trees. Again, FYI, just to give you a little bit of backstory, this is when I left the gifting site and I went for my hike south across that trail, and where I was hearing all the wood knocks and the vocals and the hyena laughter. And I don't know, maybe it's these that do the laughter. I don't know. I don't know, right? I don't know, but maybe me moving the camera kind of blended them together, and there are three separate, right? They're three separate of the same species or whatever these are. I don't know. I don't know. Like I say, I've seen wolf, like, I've seen wolves, and I've seen foxes, and I've seen many things like that out in the trees, and I've filmed them. I've been able to capture them. Not like this, though. I'm going to zoom in on that now. And you can see them. And I don't understand how it is like this. I just want to share this with you because I was amazed by it. And it's as obvious as can be. You can't dismiss that, right? I couldn't just dismiss this and say, nah, it's just nothing, because it is something. You can see, when I zoom in on that, you can see it. I'm going to highlight what I see here for you. So we've got a white one, and these are all ears, right? This is all pointy ears. I don't understand how these two are joined together. This is why I say it might have been because my camera moved. I moved, and they just kind of blended in together. I don't know. I just don't understand it completely. I'm thinking that might have been what happened. Or this is how they are. Maybe they are in that phase too, that shifting cloaked thing taking place here. It's just a theory. It's just a thought. But okay, I'm going to point them out. You can see them. There are three here. We got a white one. Totally picking up female energy from the white one, right? So we have eye here. Her other eye's there in the shadow. And see, very canine, long nose, right? Very like wolf-like, fox-like. Her ear is here. That would be her right ear. And see, her left ear would be behind the second little being. Right here. An eye. And that little canine type nose. Right there. And its right ear. This is what I'm seeing. And here's the third. We're only seeing its left eye. Right here. And his ear, I'm saying him, I'm going with a him. It's a he, male, and then his canine long nose here, he's got the same nose, right? Okay, let's get rid of the blue. A lot of this stuff I come on to, and I've got to try to make sense. I debunk a lot of stuff, but that you can't not see that. And it was too obvious that I couldn't throw that away, right? There was no possible way. No possible way. Now I'm going to go up to that left corner up there. I don't know if you could see that. I don't know what that is. I'm going to zoom out just a tad. Look over here. Do we just dismiss this? What is that? What is this? I'm going to point this out. I'm out up here in that top left corner. Kind of freaky looking, but I don't... An eye. The other eye. Look at that nose. Okay, so that will be a nostril here. His mouth. Wow. Okay, and looks like antlers. I don't know. It could be just twigs off the tree, right? But it does look like antlers. Some kind of antlers. Oh, oh my goodness. I don't know what that is. Any thoughts? Any ideas? Yeah. Here we go. I'm getting rid of the blue there. That's kind of crazy. I'm going to zoom in on that a little bit. And, wow. Okay. That's a little nuts, right? I don't know what to think of that yet. I'm just seeing it for the first time. So, seeing it with you. I'm seeing it with you. Okay, let's just go with the diffuse glow here. We'll do that. I'm doing that with every image that I'm sharing here, so we might as well not miss this one. We'll highlight these three little beings there and bring that up some. Oh, look at her. Look at the white one, right? Bring some of that blurriness out of it. Wow. No, my eyes are just drawn up to that top left corner now. That's crazy. That's crazy looking. And he looks like he's looking between two trees, right? I want to zoom in on the three that I was highlighting here. I'm just blown away by them, and they're beautiful, right? They are beautiful. Oh, it's just crazy. Almost like there's a line that could be pixel type thing happening there in between this one and this one. Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? When you're moving that camera through the trees, and even if you have it on you and I'm moving and the camera's moving it, you get a lot of weird things happen. I mean, they are there, but to the image, and because of the movement, it's all digital. And you get things blending in together and morphing in together and all kinds of stuff like that. That's why I say a lot of times I just dismiss a lot of stuff, because it kind of looks like a Bigfoot, but yet it's just not. It's just warped, right? It's more of a blob squatch. I hear people say that all the time. And I try not to put any of that out. I just try to stick with the clearest images, the ones that, I mean, for me and for all of you and anybody that sees it can say, that's a Bigfoot. I don't, so again, I guess we do have to focus on him because he's part of that picture. I don't know. Okay. High strangeness, right? High strangeness there at White Birch. If you all recall, you can see that between the trees back there. At first, because when I was there, I don't know if you all recall, in the video I had mentioned I could see it in my viewfinder. My camera was seeing it, but whenever I turned around, I don't know if it was where I was situated, away from my camera, and I couldn't see this. I could never see this, but I could see it in my viewfinder. That in between the trees there, it looks like a Bigfoot stand. And I said, it looks like I could have swore there's a Bigfoot standing behind me, right? And in the video, in the review process, I was like, okay, that could just be a stump. Every time I turned around to look back there, because I could see it in my viewfinder. That's out in front of me, so it's back here, right? It's behind me. And I turned to look. I can't see this. But I grabbed a still out of the video, and I'm just going to share this with you because I think it could be a Bigfoot. It could have been a Bigfoot, not just a tree stump. It's kind of amazing once you zoom in, and I think it's once I use the diffuse glow filter, it brings out detail, right? But look at that. Look at it. And to me, let's diffuse glow this right now. You tell me what you see. Should we just write it off as a stump? Right? That's a little crazy. Okay, that's with the diffuse glow. I don't know, folks. To me, I can actually see the butt. It's butt right here. The shoulder. And an arm here. top of its head. And right here in the back, its back, like just above the shoulder blades. And the strangeness of it too, right? This, like, because I couldn't see it when I look with my eyes, my human eyes, not through the lens, not through the lenses. I couldn't see this. That camera sits about almost 4 feet out in front of me, right? So there is about 4 feet what the camera's seeing and what I'm seeing if I turn to look in the same area. So it could have been one of the trees in its way or in my line of sight that I couldn't see this, but it was in my camera, right, in my viewfinder. So, but it does look like, I mean, it does look like it's Bigfoot standing there. Okay, this is amazing. But there's 2 things I want to talk about on this picture. This was the guy. This was the one making all the noise right straight across that ditch from the road. I just finished filming the deer and I said, okay, this is where it's back in there, right? And I stopped my camera and just filmed back there. He was back there, and I've got like now, I must have about 15 stills of him, and in each one he's a little bit different, right? He's situated a little bit different. And I had a couple people message me, why is his nose so white and it looks big? I don't know, right? I don't know. I don't know, because I think we have to think of all those things that we have to consider, all those other things: shadow, distance, how they're situated, reflections off of other things that are around them, the leaves in front of him. Maybe his nose was shining, right? Maybe there was light there. And this is what I want to talk to you about, the light. This light. If you can see on the screen right, it just looks like northern lights to me. And it's almost like there's a tear there happening in the fabric of our reality, right? If you can see this, because I don't know what it's coming from. And there's only, I think I got 3 or 4 frames that have it. And one is like rainbow colors, right? Coming out of this. Out of somewhere back there in the trees. And it's almost like he is looking at it. I don't know this for sure, but that's what it looks like. It looks like he's looking. Let's talk about him first. I'm going to zoom in on him. Kind of amazing. Kind of amazing. That's amazing. And look at the ear. Look at the ear. And see, here is what I was trying to explain to you about the males. That one here, that line between their brow ridges, I always just see one, right? Just above the bridge of the nose. Bridge of the nose here. Of course, we would have an eye here, over here, and we got his nose here, unmistakably so. And look at his mouth. You can almost see his bottom lip here. It's a little bit open. The ear. This was just amazed me. This ear right here. His ear. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get rid of that blue. Protruding heavy brow ridges. I see it on all the males, on all of them. And there's always that, I don't know if it's a demarcation or whatever it is that we see there, just above the bridge of the nose. I see on the males, right? And you can see his head here. And yeah, I don't know why, his nose looked big in one picture, and to me it looks pretty normal here. And he's Sasquatch. That's a Bigfoot right there. Let's get rid of the highlights. Here, this whole area here, I don't know where it's coming from, why it just shows up in the trees. And to me it looks like a tear, right? There's only 3 or 4 frames that have it. And in the one frame, you can't really make him out as much, other than the colors that are in this tear are on him. it's like the same colors. The light that's coming through whatever's there is shining onto him, and it kind of distorts his face and everything. But there's obviously colors there, lights, a light source, right? And it's just kind of amazing. Very good, right? Very good. I'm going to do the diffuse glow filter here. Let's bring that diffuse up. Okay. Wow. Beautiful. You know, when I see and find this stuff, when I find this stuff in my videos and footage, when I come back from these areas, it just, after I'm done reviewing and grabbing stills and starting to put that video together for you, I'm already excited and thinking about my next trip up there. I'm already planning, because each time I come back from there, it's like I'm going back with more knowledge, right? With more information each time I go in from the previous visit. Every time I come back, I've got information with me. They've spoken to me. I know, because thoughts will come through after I get home. Sometimes there is so much going on there, it takes days to process all the information for me in my head, and what I felt and what I sensed and smelt, and all my senses. I bring it all here together, and I have to put it together, piece it together, and it unfolds for days later, right? And once that happens, when I go back, I'm packing more knowledge going back in, right? It's kind of interesting how that happens. And again, some of these things I can't explain, but again, like I said, they're there. And if they're obvious like this, I will share it, right? If I'm not unsure and it's unclear and it's too blurry and it's just there's not enough definition there, I don't bother with it. I just leave it alone and move on, right? But these were obvious to me, and what I thought was worth sharing with all of you. So I hope you enjoyed, and I thank all of you for being here. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Like I say, it's either Seven Creeks or the river in that second location. So stay tuned. Thank you all for being here. If there's any new subscribers, I appreciate you being here and coming along for the ride on this journey, this Bigfoot journey of mine, right? Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the trees. Bye for now.